Good evening and welcome to the 802 Iracing Leagues podcast for February 6th, 2026. I am your co-host, Rob Lowell, and joining me as always, Brandon Garrand. Brandon Garrand, boy, I'm off to a great start. The league graphics coordinator and the guy that keeps us on track every Friday night. Brandon, how you doing tonight?
Not bad. How we doing, Rob?
Not bad. I got tongue-tied there to start, but...
No, you're good. I must say I'm doing a lot better than I was this morning when it was negative out. Warmed up a lot, but getting ready for it to be cold again. It's going to be another negative night. It's just going to... I'm glad it's the weekend, though. I don't have to venture out into the cold.
Did you see what the wind chill is going to be tomorrow at noon here in northern Vermont?
I don't even want to look. It's got to be...
The wind chill at noon is
negative 40?
Minus 20.
Oh, not as bad as those. Yeah, usually that's when it's warming up. That's something like you expect in the morning, but yeah, peak of the day when the sun's out, and for it to still say, yeah, it's gonna feel like negative 20 out there. That's just, I'm not going nowhere. And I don't have anywhere to go. We do have the Interleague 500 tomorrow, so I will be preoccupied for most of my afternoon at least.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to watching that tomorrow. I was supposed to fly out today for Daytona for the next 9 days, but I got some health things going on. I got to stick around. Got a couple doctor's appointments this coming week, so I am going to be home this week and next weekend. I'm going to watch the Patriots play Sunday night at the Super Bowl. That's why we had the Dropkick Murphys playing to start the show. A little homage to the Patriots, and yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I haven't got to run this jumping ahead till Monday, but I haven't got to run the Daytona NIS race for the 500 ever on this series. I'm always in Florida, so I'm looking forward to this coming week. Getting the NIS season kicked off on the service. I'm going to try to do one of the full-length 500s. Probably do Saturday morning at 5:30 next week. I'm thinking you're gonna hop into a full-length 500, are you? You're doing one tomorrow, but are you gonna,
probably not?
Are you gonna start off? You're not gonna try to run the NIS series this season?
No, Let's see how many laps I get done tomorrow. You know me and Daytona. I'm not the biggest Daytona. I love plate racing, which surprisingly, but I just don't have the best look at Daytona.
Says a
We'll
guy
see how
that
tomorrow goes. Well,
says a
yeah,
guy
I
that
did win one.
won a Daytona a couple weeks ago in Sim 500's limited
It's
truck series.
yeah, it's funny. Dustin joined over my teammate in the Busch Series. He jumped over the Truck Series last night, and it was funny after the race. We're going through it, and I actually finished last night for the first time since Daytona. My other three races, I have not finished the race. I've finished 35th or worse in the three races since then. So maybe winning at Daytona has not been a change of luck. Maybe it's just made everything worse.
Oh,
I
that's
think I'd
tough.
rather go back to being really bad at Daytona and start being a little bit better everywhere else again.
Uh, yeah, I missed last night. Um, I had to get up early this morning, so I missed last night. I hated to. I'm really enjoying that series though with Joey and the guys in Sim 500. Um, it's a great series, a lot of fun, great group of guys to race with, and I'm looking forward to getting back at it next week. Do we race next week with them? I think we do. Um,
No,
no,
they're
they're
off
off.
next
They're
week. I
off next
remember
week
it
for
because of the
Sam. Yep,
duels. They're off
yep,
because of the duels, and they come back and it's Talladega. So
yeah. So I'm looking. That'll be
there's a lot
fun.
of plate racing going on these next couple weeks.
Absolutely. So we're gonna do things a little different tonight. We have Mike Kelley, who happened to win the Busch Series race last week at Darlington. He's gonna come on at the bottom of the hour, 7:30, with us. And so I thought, Brandon, that we start out on the Cup side this week. There's no dirt side to
Yeah,
talk
there's no,
about.
yeah.
The dirt guys were off this week. Some of them might have gotten an early start, head down to Volusia. I know Dean was headed out, I believe, today or maybe tomorrow to head down. Um, so not to go over there. So I thought maybe we'd I don't know we'd shoot the shit a little bit about the Cup side. Well, we'll go over the results here eventually, but we're we got 1 week left. We got this weekend, and we have the Bush race tonight, and then we're off for two
2 weeks.
weeks. We come
Yep,
back
our
2 weeks
next
from
race will
tonight.
be February 20th, and then we'll be right back in the swing.
Yeah,
I should say we do have the fun race in a couple weeks,
yeah,
or maybe next Tuesday for the 802. But that's the dirt league. That's nothing.
yeah. Well, we
The
got a
guys
fun
that are in
race.
the league.
We got a
Yep.
fun race tomorrow
So.
night.
Oh, that's right too. Yep, you got the. That'll be another thing. Let's see how good I'm feeling after 200 laps of Daytona to wheel the car around the fairgrounds. But
So yeah,
we do
so
have we do have fun races going on, but nothing
yeah,
league specifically until
right,
2 weeks from today. And
yeah,
we wouldn't even be racing today if we didn't have a makeup race from a couple months ago. So
correct. So what we're doing is tomorrow night, 10 o'clock. We'll serve open at 9 for practice. It'll be an hour practice, but we're at 10 o'clock tomorrow night. We're gonna do a 200 lap race at Nashville Fairgrounds in the Gen 7 Next Gen Cup car. Um, we have a custom setup from Maconi that we got when we ran the All Star race there a year ago. I ran it the other day. It handles great. So we're gonna go to Nashville for a fun race. Doing it later in the night, 10 o'clock. After they'll give the Chop Shop guys a chance to get their race in, and we can hopefully get some of their guys, maybe some of the Sim 500 guys, some of our guys, and we're gonna do 200 laps. And here's the kicker: we're gonna do one set of tires in the pits. So it's gonna be like a short track race at your local touring series, where ACT up this way, they don't give you any tires to go 200 laps at White Mountain or Thunder Road. We're gonna give you one set of spares in the pits. So it'll be fun. It'll be some strategy and tire management, and I'm looking forward to it. It'll be something different. And honestly, it's kind of a selfish test for the upcoming summer series. I've put Nashville Fairgrounds on that schedule as a test, and if it goes good in the summer series, it might make its way into the winter series season next year. So um, it was a good race when we did the All Star race here last year.
yeah, I didn't make it there for that. I didn't make the All Star race last year, but I watched it. It's a good. I mean, it's a short track. It's a good race. A lot like when North Wilkesboro in a way first came back around. Really abrasive on the tires, but really fun to drive. And Yeah, I'm excited
Yeah.
for
So
200 laps at the fairgrounds. I mean, it don't seem like it'll ever happen in real life, so we might as well get it virtually as much as we can.
Junior hasn't given up on it.
Yeah, he's the one good thing that like they have going for that. Because if it was anybody else, nobody would care. He's
Well,
lucky his voice carries so much.
well, I think also
Cause
Marcus Smith has put enough time and effort into it that I think it's got a good shot.
Marcus finally starting to listen to Junior a little bit more, getting rid of that Roval.
Yeah. Hold on one second. My headset just started beeping. I gotta swap out the battery. Hey, Brandon, you got me?
Yep. We got you. We got you.
Good. That's one nice thing about the Steel Series Arctic Pros. You can swap the battery out hot and stay connected. So, um, yeah. Also, I think Marcus, it's a double-edged sword for him, right? Like it's great to have Junior push you to do stuff, but I also think he's spent quite a bit of money because of Dale Junior.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, if it was up to Junior, Dover and Bristol would be paved.
Yep.
Those that would
Yep.
already be changed, and I mean he's got plenty of money. Maybe he should invest a little bit too.
And that I'm kind of surprised that he's so adamant about paving those two places because he's gone good on concrete. He's won at
Yep.
Dover. He's always run great at
Bristol.
Bristol. Look at the one when he was in the Busch Series. My dog's going nuts. My wife's just getting home, so if you hear them barking in the background, that's
Yeah.
why.
No.
Um, he look at the Busch Series or the Xfinity race a couple seasons ago. He just
Yeah. When the car caught on fire,
yeah
he was
he had
he was gonna win that probably.
yes he was. It's the old bull story, right? Like he was being slow and methodical, and he was going to get them all, not just one of them. So, um, shall we jump over to the Cup Series here and go through our results?
Yeah, we just go through that real quick because I don't know how we'll do. We don't have to really do a preview since it's not for 2 weeks. I mean,
Yeah.
we'll hop on. We'll obviously be on that Friday before everything gets back on again. So we don't really have to go too deep into a preview, but we could definitely, obviously, go over the results as they're fresh in our head because Lord knows after a couple of the past few episodes where I tried to remember stuff, it don't happen very good. So these races are fresh in my head.
Okay, so I'm actually on the ball tonight, and um, I have both the results keyed up, and I got our iRacing results, so we can see it all. So let's start off. It was race 15 of 26, so um, we're getting there. Just got one race left for the playoffs, and Anthony Calatoni gets his third win of the season. Um, he beat.
Fourth, isn't it? I think it's his fourth win.
I thought when I looked on Sim Racer Hub today, it said third.
I feel like he was already tied with Pogo before this week. Yeah,
Uh,
that's his fourth. So
okay, fourth. So
even
yeah,
though he's not the points leader,
right
he's
now
ninth in points. Yeah, he would be.
he would be the points leader
Yep, he'd be one
with the
point up.
reset.
So them wins, and I don't want to brag. Anthony Cantoni, my pick last week. I did pick that. I
You
did pick
did.
him to win I did pick him to win the race. So thank you, Anthony. And he came from 16th, so that's not the easiest thing to do at Darlington. But I'll let you continue through the results after we give him a little praise there. But
Yeah, absolutely. Mike Kelley was second. Chad Coleman third. Bentley Glazer was fourth, and Steve Ritter was fifth. Sixth was Frank Zingen. Good to see Frank back in the top 10. Um, Ron Holyfield was seventh. Rick Kennedy Jr. was
do you have
eighth. hold on. I'm looking at the Busch Series.
Yeah, that's the Busch.
I
was
just
like,
screwed
whoa.
that up. Yep.
You had the top 5 was right.
That's because I went off a different screen. I went off a different screen.
You're good. I was like, wait a second. Do I have these uploaded wrong?
No, you don't. I do. I grabbed the wrong one.
You're good.
Okay, let's go back. So, Charles Van Schaik was 6th. Sammy Harrell 7th. Kip Easley 8th. Chris Progar 9th. Shout out to Chris. He was all excited. He's had. I feel like him and Johnny Barker have been the bad news bears of the league this season. They both had horrible luck. Chris was excited. He finished 9th on the lead lap, and Scott Simley rounded the top 10.
I feel like he battled through that too, though. I feel like at one point Chris was a few laps down, so
he was. Yep.
He battled all night, and yeah, it always feels good when you do that. You come through and you battle through, and you get back to the top 10. Usually when I have trouble through a night, like I try to think of like a goal, like would be like, man, this would be really good if I got back to this spot. Like that's my win right now if I get back to there. So yeah, I'm sure Chris all night was like, man, I just want to get back to the lead lap, and then eventually he did, and he was like, you know what? Now I want to try to get some spots, and like you said, top 10. That's a great result after being behind the 8 ball, especially at Darlington.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll let you do the next 10.
Yeah, so after that, we got Joe Hudson 11th, Doug Sigmund 12th, Johnny Barker 13th, Jeff Pogo 14th, myself in 15th, Cody Meadows 16th, last car on the lead lap. Steve S 17th, Daniel Holcroft 18th, Eli Raposa 19th, and Frank Zingen finishes out the top 20.
21st was Shannon Wood. 22nd was Landon Audette. 23rd was Ron Holyfield. 24th, Arabia Kate in the third. I was 25th. Chris Brown 26th. Wesley Donaldson 27th. Nick Larson was 28th. Bryson Anderson 29th, and Kevin Roy was 30th. Early in the race, little jingle ahead of me. Car sideways on the track. I went low, avoided that. Felt bad. I went low to. I missed it. Bentley was there. He messed it, and then I ended up right hooking him. Luckily, as you see from his finish, he didn't get a whole lot of damage. He was able to continue on. But I had 9 minutes of damage. I actually just went in and sat and got the whole 9 minutes fixed. The wheel was 180 degrees off. There was those that's trying to limp around. And then went back on the track, and I was disheartened at that point because I never got lapped on the track after that. I never even saw the leaders. And at one point, I took tires and the leaders did it on 28th at that one yellow. When I came out of the pits, I took tires, and at the end of that run, I was turning the same lap times as the top 5. So had old Race Labs up watching the 5 and 10 lap averages, and I was right there with them. Just got knocked out early, so had put a little effort into practicing at Darlington last week, and kind of bummed me out. I didn't get a chance to get a top 10 out of it. But that's racing.
Yeah, yeah. I don't remember what happened where I got behind. I feel like it probably was another green flag cycle pit stop thing, and I know I ended up a lap down and got back on the lead lap, and at the end I had a restart on that green white checker, and we had a good one, and I know I was in the top 10 at least, and just a funnel trying to go into turn 3 at the end, and just got knocked sideways, and
I wanted to ask you. I was watching that whole deal, and were you and your team trying to one-stop that race? Because I felt like you guys went super long.
No,
you did take tires.
Yep, that's what happened. There was the early caution where we were because at the beginning of the race you couldn't make it on one stop.
Right, but then we had
the early caution.
28,
I was like,
28,
yep,
yes.
And I didn't take tires then, obviously, but.
And I felt like from there, it appeared watching yours and Jeff's strategy.
Well, Pogo got into something where he got damaged early in the race, I think.
It looked like
he tried to avoid somebody and he smoked the wall, but yeah, that was
Were you
we
gonna one
ended up
stop it
going
from
to.
there?
Yeah,
From like
we were
28,
gonna
were you
one
gonna try
stop
to one
it.
stop it from there? That's yeah.
Yeah, we were gonna one stop it, and I was just thinking like maybe there'll be a caution during this green flag cycle when everybody's already pitted. So that was like kind of the other thing too. Like I knew I could make it a one stop, and I wasn't really up far enough to where like I knew I could do it with two stopping. So tried something different and just got behind just because obviously you're out there on old tires while everybody else is on their own fresh tires and
Yeah, because the night before, Dustin did one stop it, or 2 days
yep.
before the Busch Series. Um, and I'll be honest, like I was watching the race, I was out of it. We'll get into that later, but I actually sent Dustin a message like 35, 40 to go, a private message, and I said, I think you got the winning strategy here, because I watched his lap times at the end of the first. I think he pitted like 63, 64. Um, and I watched his lap times there, and he was like a 32 flat. And the leaders, when they came out with like a 31 1, 31 2, and I did the math, and I'm like, they're not going to catch him. Um, and then I'm getting way out the reservation to talk about the Busch race, but at the second run, he was turning 32 4s, 32 5s at the end, and it just felt like, okay, he's, I thought maybe a damage or something. So I went into that race thinking we got out of early caution like 25 in, that I thought one stopping it would be the way to go.
Yep.
So probably if I had been around lap 28 still in the race, I would have done the same thing you did.
Yeah, but it happened. I mean, at that point, like it's like I've been telling Jeff and Jim the past couple weeks. I was like, at this point, like we all break even here in a few weeks. I'm just trying to get any position where I can steal a win right now, or that's pretty much all I was trying to do. A top 5, a top 10 is great, but it's not really going to change much after next week. We're all going to be tied anyways. Besides the guys that have wins. Wins
Right.
are what matter right now.
And I was talking to my team this week in our Discord, and I said to him, hey, we're all locked in. There's no sense even practicing North Wilkesboro. We don't need to. Um, and I'm probably not going to practice Michigan because unless that changed in this last update, they've ruined that track. It's become a drafting track. You can't get away from anyone. I wish I'd go back like it was probably 2 builds ago now, where if you were good on saving tires, you could drive away from the field after 25 laps, and that doesn't happen anymore. There, you can be junk in the corners, and the draft sucks you back up and down the straightaway. So, um, I'm gonna start practicing for Dover.
Yeah, that's the only place that I'm practicing for. Because like you said, yeah, it's kind of a drafting trap. But even if it wasn't, I feel confident enough at Michigan. Chicago, I feel good at. Like all these other tracks after Wilkesboro, like I feel really good at, except the shorter tracks. Like Dover's probably out of the next 9. Dover's my biggest worry.
Yeah, and Dover does wear tires. I've turned about 20 laps there this week. I jumped on it twice, ran about 10 laps, and I was not happy with my tire wear on my right front at all. So, um, I'm not going to Florida, so I guess I got some time to practice over the next 2 weeks. So,
Yeah.
um, yeah, so I didn't get a chance to update the playoffs,
I
but
did
you
I
have
did
it.
do
Let me
yeah,
see if
it's
I
on
can.
it's on our points thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to slide it over onto the screen here so I can. There we go. What would help if I transitioned it over? I've been looking at the top 5 the whole time, so I screwed that up.
Yeah, we've said it every episode. We're not professionals at this.
No. So
It's pretty clear.
top 14 are locked in. There is a battle between Frank and Chris. Frank's got 20 points on Chris. Ron's 42 back, another 22 back behind Chris. So I would say Ron's out of it. It
Yeah,
would take
Ron
a
and they would need the 2 guys in front of them
yeah
to not even show up this week because
yeah
this week you can't drop this week. This week, every week going forward in the Cup Series counts.
yep
There's no more drop weeks.
yep drops
So
are gone.
yeah, Frank and Chris would just. That's why I kind of left Ron and Tyler on there, but put them in orange because
Yep.
they need a miracle for that to happen. But they are mathematically eligible. They're
Yep.
still there, so I didn't want to take them out completely. But
Yep.
yeah, and because like even though it's like even like 49, like Tyler would have to get exactly max points, and he would actually get a tiebreaker over Frank in that instance because he has a win and Frank doesn't. So
Yep.
that's kind of why I left Tyler on there. Ron's obviously a long shot too, but Chris and Frank is the battle. That's why they're both in yellow. And while 20 points is a lot, it's
It,
also not a lot when there's 35 guys out there. And,
right, and going to North Wilkesboro, you could get turned on lap 1
yep.
and out of the race. So
But it'll be one of those things like battle of attrition, like fix your car like you did, and you never know what could happen. Take that 9 minutes at the beginning of the race, and you never know. And Chris is one to do that. I know Frank's done it too. It's gonna be a battle to the end, and it's kind of exciting that there'll be another race within the race still here at the last race going into the playoffs in a way.
let me get this back over. Try to figure. So it's 7:24. We got about 6 minutes before Mike hops in with us. Um, we don't have any picks to do for the Cup this week. Um, seems weird, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's gonna be really weird. It's even more weird when it's like it's 2 weeks off. Like 1 week off's kind of it happens, but
Yeah.
the second week you're like, man, I want to get back to racing. But I mean, plenty of racing to watch that following week. I mean, it's Daytona week. You'll have racing Friday, Saturday, Sunday, all good racing. So
Did you watch the Clash Wednesday night?
I I watched it in the background while I had a bunch of I had a bunch of paints to update with all the new like I had a bunch of Chevy schemes that I had to update for people, and then I've gone through and I've started updating some people that have done even though they haven't asked for it, like they have new Ford branding that's on the car and the new Toyota branding, like just been updating those little details on people's cars for them.
I started to watch it. Um,
The
I
first
felt
half was good.
I
I'll
fell
say that much.
I fell asleep before lap 50. Um,
I was talking with Dustin and Frank in our team chat, and we just kept saying more chaos, because at the halfway break it was totally normal. Then all of a sudden, the rain comes as they're changing their tires and stuff, and so they had to put the rain tires on. And and then they said it was sleeting, not just raining, and I was like, send them out there. And all the drivers were like, let's go. So I was like, I was all for it because it's an exhibition race. Let's just see some chaos. It's the madhouse, like,
I
and it was pretty wild the first couple laps until like it started drying out. Then it was kind of, but
It was pretty good. I was scrolling through TikTok and I came up on it was Ryan Priest's radio traffic during
yeah, yeah.
once they went back on the track. Have you seen that and listened to it? The whole like
I I I
six or
heard parts
seven
of it,
minutes.
but
Oh, you have to
I
listen to the
didn't
whole
listen to
thing
it.
in entirety. It is probably one of the funniest radio conversations I've heard. Um,
I love them dropping the F bomb getting out of the car. He must have said it 5 times before he actually got out of the car. And then he said it 3 more times in his interview.
yeah. He even worked John Force's name into the radio
That's
conversation.
awesome.
So
That's awesome.
they
Yeah,
were
I
kept
like
after
pre.
they kept after him about getting the tires, meeting the tires. He's like, I'm John Forcing it out here. What are you talking about? What'd you think about that battle for the final transfer spot in the LCQ between
I
Cedric
thought
and
it. I thought.
and
Yeah,
Corey
I thought
LaJoy?
that was pretty. I like that. That was.
That was
I mean, that
great.
was good. I mean, that's what you expect from the Madhouse. And I mean,
It was
while Corey
respectful though.
LaJoy, Corey LaJoy not going to get many chances to race this year.
Yeah,
Like he didn't make it still, and he's still like, man, that was awesome.
yeah.
Like
Um,
so, I thought it was great, and that's kind of like I think that's what it would have came down to if like the rain never came, but the madness that ensued to watch like somebody like SVG just ripping like the wall. the madhouse trying to find like that wet grip, and he was finding it. He was one of the best ones out there in the rain because he has so much experience in it.
Yep.
And just watching him 3, 4 wide, just going around the track was pretty insane. I mean, I get it; they're not going as fast as they could, so it's kind of like the fuel mileage. Like, oh yeah, they're 3 wide at Daytona, but they're going 160, not 190. It still looks cool.
Absolutely. Um, I listened to SiriusXM today. I was listening to it, and they had James Small on, Chase Briscoe's crew chief. He's still pretty sour over the whole fuel thing.
Oh
Um,
yeah, that see, and then they go on and do something like that, and that's just because there was the point in the race where I'm like, I'm talking to Frank and like the guys, and I'm like, man, if I'm one of the guys in the back, I'm like, I just want to put slicks on. Like,
yeah,
let me just put this, like, let me fuck up. If the track's not ready for slicks, I'll learn.
yeah.
But
That
like, they said Hocevar was out there for 6 laps, and that's why the 45 wanted to put him on.
yeah. So I
But yeah,
I
the
have
fuel thing, I don't.
yeah I don't understand why they
But
did
even if
that.
they if
They
even if they did pull everybody in, I'd be like, Chase, stay on the track. We have fuel.
yeah
Like, we'll go to the front.
yeah
Like, fuck everybody else that has to go to the
yeah
pit.
those
Like,
teams all had the choice to fill up or not. I feel like so I had a conversation with a guy on Facebook um, Sunday or Monday. It was around the whole pushing the race to Wednesday and keeping it at Bowman Gray. And um, my comment was new ringleader, same circus, same monkeys when it comes to NASCAR. Um, and to expand on that is NASCAR does not have the ability. They're not self-aware. I'm talking the upper echelons of NASCAR. They're not self-aware. They don't have the ability to admit when they're in the wrong, at least not in real time. And they don't have the ability to adapt to, you know, Wednesday
yeah,
we
they're
listen to
very.
CRXM, and I listened from like 11 o'clock on while I was at work, and they were talking about, oh, there's all kinds of kids here in the grandstands. They're here for practice. They're, no school this week in North Carolina, so they're here. I get home and I'm watching the LCQ,
There's really
and
nobody there.
you can shoot a goose gun into the grandstands 10 times and not hit anybody. Like, what are you talking about? There's no one. There's no one here.
Yeah, it was empty,
Yeah,
and it stinks. But like, it's like a lot of the podcasts I hear too. It's like these these exhibition races, they lose their luster after literally like a year. Like that one time where it's like brand new and cool. It's like that's awesome. But then the next year, it's like, it's not like it's not as grand. It's not as grand. The meh.
yeah. It's like L.A. The first year was pretty
Yeah,
cool.
it was great. First year was great. And then the second year, it's like, But also that first year, like the Super Bowl was there that same week. So like they're like, yeah, it was packed. Like I'm like, yeah, but you gotta also think like there's people that were already there for the Super Bowl, and they're just like, oh, there ain't nothing else really to do probably tonight. Let's go check out this race in the LA Coliseum, which is just a wild concept.
Yeah, and then last year the weather, it was cold last year. It was what, maybe
Yeah,
15 degrees warmer. Um, it was
I think
also
this needs
not.
to be your all-star race.
Yeah, so yes, if you want a permanent home for the All Star race, put it in Bowman Gray. It's never going to
It's at
happen
home.
because the All Star race has always been an SMI um,
Yep,
event.
yep,
They're
that's
not
true.
going to give that up. Bowman Gray is leased by NASCAR by the France family. So, um, but hey, put put the Clash back at Daytona. You don't have to run it the weekend before. You could run it on Tuesday night or Wednesday night. Wednesday night is usually qualifying now, so okay, run it on Tuesday night. Um, Cause put a little oomph back into Speedweeks because the big track is it's kind of dead all week now. You know.
I think the problem, like what, like again from podcasts that I've listened to, like is the problem with having it at Daytona again is like teams are worried about wrecking another like plate-ish car. Like they only have like certain motors that they can run on restricted plates. I guess it's not the car so much as the motors. And then they go to Atlanta like the next. Like the problem is Atlanta being race number 2 also.
And why is it?
Like
It doesn't need to be.
it's
You know.
you don't need back-to-back plate races and
You know.
just it'd be fine if Atlanta was Atlanta.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Or should I say Echo Park? Excuse me.
Yeah.
Should be Atlanta. Yeah, just
So we're just filling time here, waiting for Mike Kelley to hop on. Um, he's 3 minutes late, but we won't hold that against him. Um, God knows Brandon and I have been late a time or two on this podcast.
I just say every minute that he's late, we'll put him a second behind the field to start at the beginning of this race tonight.
Well, I'll tell you, the speed he's
he'll
had,
make
he'll make
yeah,
that
he'll
up
make
in
it
10
back up.
laps.
Yeah, so just a little deficit.
One of the I was looking, at the on SimHub at the wins. The guy that we thought was going to dominate, he's been shut out for the last few weeks in the Busch Series.
Yeah, Cody missed a few weeks.
He missed 2 weeks, right?
Yeah, and
And I think he's on a 2 or 3 race DNF streak, right? He finished it.
I think he had I think he had a good week
He,
behind.
he
Yeah, he had a decent week last week. He had a good week at Talladega, but yeah.
Yes, he
Since,
did. Yep. Bristol, he DNF'd.
Yep, kind of since Bristol, ever since.
Yep.
So, yeah, kind of a. He still got a 30-point lead over Logan, and they got big leads over Dustin and myself and Steve. Out of
But
another drop back down to Johnny and Jorge, but yeah.
once again, though, his 2 drops
Yeah, he's already
are
used
zeros.
them up.
So every
Yeah.
bad finish now, where someone else because that might have, and we had the ability to get 30 cars, in the Busch Series when we're at a track that guys want to run. So I got a ton of stuff going on right now. I got DoorDash and my wife's dinner, trying to track that so I don't miss that when it gets here. And let's hop over.
I got 2 Rugrats barging in my door right now too. I got 2 kids here. Daddy.
Let's hop to the Busch results here real quick.
Yeah.
So race 14 to 26. So we're past halfway. First place was Mike Kelley, and the driver of the 43 car, the Sim 500 Pennzoil car. Second place was Steve Ritter. Third place was Chad Coleman. Fourth place was Dustin Coggin, and fifth place was Joe Hudson. So another good run for Joe.
Yeah, I think Joe kind of was on the same strategy as Dustin also. He tried to do the one stop, and I mean, it worked out for him. He netted way better than what he was running, so.
Yep.
Joe's good at strategy. I give him that. And, yeah, so I'll go through the rest here. We got Frank Zingen in 6th, Ron Holyfield in 7th, Rick Kennedy Jr. in 8th, myself in 9th, Brian Wortman in 10th, Logan Kogar in 11th, Landon Audette 12th, Bryson Anderson 13th, Jorge Ledesma Jr. 14th, Kenneth Kuko 15th, Robbie Orr 16th. As we said, Cody didn't make the start last week, so Cody was 17th.
Cody did make the
18th.
start. He got wrecked on lap 1 of Johnny Barker.
Lap 1. Oh, okay. Oh yeah, it does say 124 down. Yep. Johnny Barker 18th and Larry Bell 19th.
Yeah. They made it to the backstretch.
Yep, that's right. I was like, we went green, and then I just happened to see one caution at the top. So yeah.
Yep.
One caution, lap 1, and then from there clean and green. So,
yeah.
A really good race. Besides the bad luck at the beginning, but that happens at Darlington.
And let's move the race winner in with us now. So I'm gonna bring him in.
There he is.
Here we go. Join us now is the driver of the 43 Sim 500 Pennzoil Busch Series car, and last week's winner, Mike Kelley. Mike, how you doing tonight?
Hey guys, how you doing?
Not bad. We were just going over the results here. A pretty dominant win for you. Fastest in practice, right?
Yep.
Won the pole.
Yep.
Led all the laps.
Led all the laps. I believe it's 97 of 125 you led. And you won by, what was that?
9.5 seconds.
9.5 seconds.
Well, you forgot one.
Oh, and you set fast time. Set fast time.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's pretty rare for me, but yeah,
I
did
notice
that.
That is not rare because you did it at Texas just a few weeks before this too.
I did?
Yeah, you led the most laps. You got the pole.
Oh.
And you won. Oh, you didn't win. I guess you didn't win it by 9 seconds. You only won that one by 2.5 seconds.
Well, I mean that's not really part of the stats, but you're kind of nitpicking there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's 2, and then I almost got to check your cup win to see if you did the same thing then too.
Well, maybe I got something
were
started
fast.
here.
You were fast at Bristol. The only thing you didn't get the pole that night. But yeah.
I like this league.
So yeah,
when Mike
a lot
is
of
on, he's on.
Come over. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, a lot of my racing lately has been that way. It's been like a crazy roller coaster. So
I know that feeling. Mike, I want to go back to the Friday night's race. You pitted twice. Took tires twice. We had a couple guys, Dustin Coggin and Joe Hudson, that were on a one-stop strategy. I was out of the race, so I was watching Dustin lap times just before he pitted. And he was able to still, at the end of, 62, 63 laps, he was like turning like 32 flats. And you guys were like 31s at that point. Were you concerned if he'd had the same pace in the second half of the race that you might not have time to get him? Were you confident that you could track him down if he was one stopping it?
Well, honestly, and no disrespect to Dustin at all whatsoever, the only person I was really paying attention to was Chad. And also, I was trying to save in that first run going along, and I had a certain pace that I was running. Tire wear wasn't that bad. Fall off, for the lap times wasn't that bad. So I just got to a point where I, in my mind, decided I wasn't going to be able to make it to the halfway point. So I made that decision before I really knew what anybody was going to do. So I just stuck to my plan, which was run like 50, 40, 35, or whatever it turned out to be, and stuck with that. And then shortly after I did pit, Chad did as well. So I wasn't even really thinking anyone was going to have a chance to win it with a one-stop strategy, and didn't even realize that a couple of people had tried it there till later. And by the time I realized it, I felt pretty confident that I was going to catch them. So that's the true answer on that question.
Yeah, with like 25 to go, I knew Dustin was probably a little bit before that, watching that he wasn't really going to be able to pull it off, because the second run he fell down in like the mid 32s really early in his run, so he gave up a lot of pace. And I actually asked him afterwards if he had damage. I thought maybe he'd gotten the wall or something, or someone hit him. I know he had contact with a lap car when he was leading, and but I thought there might have been an outside chance there, but clearly there wasn't, because you were up by almost 10 seconds on Steve.
Exactly.
Chad was 2 tenths behind Steve, and that battle between Steve and Chad was a hell of a battle the last 10 laps, because I want to say Chad ran Steve down from like 3.5 seconds back in the last 15 laps or something crazy like that.
Yeah, Chad ran them both down. I was watching that because I was obviously seeing if he was pulling enough time off what I was doing to catch me. And I noticed that I caught them both, I think, and passed them both in the last couple of laps, I think, is what happened. Because I remember I was watching the F3 and I was pulling for Steve to get him because I know how bad it is to be in that, run along second the whole run and then have a guy come and take it from you on the very last lap. So Chad was really running him down, but he needed a lot more time to catch me. Well, the only reason Chad was that far behind was because I don't know if you guys knew this or not. I talked about it in the race interview. And I'm just speculating here. I don't know for sure, but I know Chad. And on that second run, I wasn't going to pit. I mean, I had a set time that I kind of wanted to pit, but once we pitted, we were out of tires, right? So I certainly didn't want to go in and pit earlier before Chad and give him a chance to get lucky and have a yellow flag and go in and get fresher tires. Or God forbid, we run, because we could still go quite a bit when I pitted. And, if he runs, 20 laps and even if he does take his last set, he's in good shape versus me. And if he hasn't gone in yet, obviously he's got a brand new set sitting in the pit. So Chad came on the microphone and said he was going to pit. And I just went ahead and pitted right away without verifying that he was actually pitting.
Yeah, I got that.
Yeah, I remember hearing that, and 2 laps later, I saw that he was still in the lead, and I mic'd up to Dustin and them, and I was like, didn't Chad say he was pitting? And they were like, what? And I was like, maybe I'm just fucking hearing things then.
No.
Yeah, that makes sense, because he ended up pitting after you, didn't he? From what I remember watching.
He's a lot later.
Yeah. I want to say he went another 10, 15 laps.
15 laps or so, and yep.
Yeah,
he pitted. Yeah, because I ended up having a flat tire. Just
at that point he knew. At that point, he knew that there was no way that he was going to catch me through any kind of, unless I, screwed up my pit stop or whatever. But just if the race played out as it was, so he threw his last card out there and got me to pit early, and then he stayed out like another 20 laps, hoping to catch a yellow. And he wasn't the only one. There was a couple other guys doing it too. So those guys would have had control of the race had that happened. But it was pretty tense.
Yeah, same thing happened on our radio. He called it. I was watching Steve at that point, and having Steve up on the screen, my Race Labs is showing me Steve's data, and Chad got on the relative for Steve up ahead of Steve, and I'm like, wait a minute, he didn't pit. It's showing he pitted like lap 50 something or 40 something. And I told Steve, like, Chad didn't pit. He started shouting. He's like, oh, he faked Mike. He goes, Mike went in, didn't he? I'm like, yeah, he did. He's like, Chad did that on purpose. He pump faked him.
Oh yeah, nothing wrong with that. No. I did the same thing. I pitted and I was back out on the track again, and I looked up this, or looked at the scoring to see where I was, and it's like, yeah, Chad's still leading. I was like, what the heck? And I said, oh, I laughed to myself. And that's what I said something to him over the radio. And he said, oh, I changed my mind or whatever he said. Yeah. So I got faked out. It was a rookie move. You hate to see it.
So you've been on fire since you came over, both here and in the Cup Series. I'm interested to hear, give us the good and the bad of what you've seen since you joined our league. What do you like and what can we do better?
I really don't. I can't think of anything bad. I didn't pre-plan to say anything bad. I generally tried to be a pretty optimistic guy. No, I can't think of anything right off the top of my head. I think so far you're doing it all right. I mean, of course you could get a little bit bigger field sizes, but those are problems you got to grow into. So, but I mean, that's been incredible just since I found out from the league from Joey, through Sim 500, because I took some time off. Well, not completely time off, but I stopped running the Premier Series last year at Sim 500. I've been there, for 10 years, since 2017. I was an admin of one of the first series that they ran at Sim 500. So just needed a little break from the really intense leagues and went out and still ran some Sim 500 stuff, but just the free things, and ran a couple other different leagues. And then Joey was running one with me, and of course, this was about the same time now that you guys were starting to merge, and it was, the races I'm running Wednesday and Friday, I wasn't running anything at the time. So, I'm sorry, Friday and Sunday, my bad. I wasn't running anything on those nights, so checked it out and was concerned with the car counts because I like big fields. I'm spoiled, but just where it's grown from there, just merging and getting some new guys, and anything above 25, I feel is a good race, and it's really grown in that aspect. And the competition's great from top to bottom. I listened to your podcast from last week, and I've heard you guys talk about it before. Racing for 23rd rather than just riding, and that's the key. Just a league where you can fit in, race at your level, and have somebody to race instead of riding around. And that's one of the cool things about Sim 500 and another league I run as well, where you got big fields, and it don't matter if you're racing for first or 30th. A guy's going to be racing you like it's $1 million for the Daytona 500. So that's kind of what I look for and what I see here.
Yeah, we're definitely.
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah, and we were up around 30 cars there, and then I think we've just gotten to a spat of some tracks that maybe people aren't real big fans of. Indy. It bounced back at Daytona, and then we came to Darlington, or Talladega, and then we came to Darlington, and I know Darlington is a track that we historically we lose some cars
at.
Low.
Yeah, for sure.
I noticed the Busch Series, I shouldn't say struggles more. Well, it does. Struggles more than the Sunday League because we had 30 guys Sunday at Darlington, so I thought that was pretty good. But Friday night is
Yeah.
Friday night it's hard to find a good time.
Yeah, it is. And I'm from Nebraska, so I'm in wintertime and I have an RV, so once summer gets rolling along, I won't be able to run as much on Friday, so I'm running it now as much as I can. I'm usually around for Sunday nights. I'll be able to run Sunday quite frequently, but Friday I'm out on the road or at a campground somewhere a lot of the time, but enjoying it now. But yeah, that's what hurts. And the tracks, don't beat yourself up too bad about figuring out the tracks. I've been doing this a long time, and some tracks that you don't expect will have big fields, and a lot of times it's just timing and what time of the year it is and what people are doing. So no, the field sizes are pretty good right now.
If somebody don't like a track, that's on them. I'm pretty sure we have every single oval that you can almost have. Obviously there's the really short tracks and tracks that technically aren't on the Cup schedules anymore, but that's pretty much what we have is every single oval. So
yeah, the harder tracks tend to have the ones that are take more driver skill tend to have the worst turnouts.
Yeah, which is always a bummer because those are the more fun ones. Those are way more fun.
Yeah. If you can put together a strong group that likes to run them and races them like they're supposed to be raced, like Martinsville, for example, which I still think I've never had a decent race at Martinsville, but it is possible. But you just can't get that group of people together that want to race it like it needs to be raced.
New Hampshire, another one that we've seemed to struggle at with cautions, and I said it was going to be retired after this season's race. There was race 3, I think, of the season. But I did throw it on the summer series just to try to give it one more shot because it is a fun track to race, and for a lot of us up in this area, it's our home track. So,
right, yeah, nothing will kill a turnout spree like New Hampshire on your schedule. That's for sure.
I don't get it. It's not even I want to say it's a very technical track. It's not.
It's challenging.
It's I think it just reminds me of a dirt track. It's a lot of throttle control, and I like that.
Yeah, it's technical and challenging and hard to pass and all those things that
I love
Charlotte lovers
groove now.
Don't love. Let's go run Charlotte again.
Yeah, yeah.
You should like the last 9 races of the season, Mike. They're going to be. Yeah, there's some good tracks on there.
I know you're not playoff eligible. We tried to save the bread and butter, really good tracks for the playoff.
I was wondering about if I was playoff eligible or not, but I don't think I'm going to make it either way. So.
Yeah, you're really the only one that's got a chance to get in the top 15 that's not there now is Chris Progar. He's 20 points behind Frank.
What about Chad? I noticed he's 16th or 15th.
Oh, there's no playoffs in the Busch Series. So
Oh, okay. Oh,
Busch
that's
Series
just
is
the whole season long deal.
it's straight,
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, straight up
Okay,
points.
okay. Gotcha.
Yep.
See, I
Yeah,
like that too. I like leagues that I'm old school, man. I'd like to just see us go out and run, 20 races and have a point system and see who wins. But
And that's what it'll be
that's what we
back to
did.
next season and
I
next
Yeah,
mean,
that's
winter
what we
season.
had last year.
Yep. And we're gonna go back to that.
cool.
Um,
Do that
I,
in cup.
we will next season. It'll be both. I should say next winter season. So that will start in October and go through mid-April. It'll be just cumulative points all season. There'll be a couple drop races, but
Yeah,
Probably
unfortunately,
like
you
the
gotta
same
have a
as
couple
Bush.
drops.
Like I would say like 3 is what we have in the Bush series right now.
Yep.
And for 26 races, I think
that's fair.
pretty fair. I think that's pretty fair.
Mike,
Yeah, I'm hardcore.
how did you get started in sim racing? When did you get started? What's been your progression?
Well, if we're gonna get into this, I might have to come back for some future episodes. But
Oh boy.
Give us the abbreviated version.
yeah, I will for sim racing. I will. But I mean, I did real racing, and my family ran a racetrack that was NASCAR sanctioned. So I mean, I can give a lot of history. But as far as my sim racing, um, I'm a Gen Xer, and I was a gamer, as much as a gamer as you could be when I grew up. So always into racing family. So as I grew up, I would try to play any kind of, electronic device that had some kind of racing on it, no matter what it was. The Atari through the Nintendo and all that stuff. And then, so let's see, what was probably the best thing? I don't know, maybe Bill Elliott's NASCAR Challenge on Super Nintendo or whatever that was on. Was maybe one of the better ones at that time. No, I mean, I didn't have a PC or anything. It's all console stuff. And luckily, because our family's racetrack was NASCAR sanctioned, I got to go to Daytona a lot because that's when they hold all the promoters meetings and all the NASCAR meetings and such. So I was at that, it's called the PPI show or whatever it is that they have at Daytona, for all the racing stuff and everything.
The promoter show every year.
Yep.
Yeah. And so I was at that and came across a booth, which, ended up being, could have been Dave Kamer himself was probably there. I don't know. But, some of the top guys, which was Papyrus, of course, at that time, had a booth at the show. And they had it looked like a soapbox derby car that they had set up that you sat in. And it had, like the wheel of the time, the Thrustmaster, that one very first wheel, like wheel and pedal setup that you could ever buy for a PC, I think. And built into this little cockpit. And they had a big screen TV. And you could sit down and you could do a demo. It was 2 laps at Talladega. So I did that, and I was like, oh, that was 94, 95. I was about, how old was I? 77. I was about 28, 27 years old, whatever. And I was also racing cars in real life at that time. So I had a real race car, but I was still into video games and racing and stuff. So I do this, and my brother was there with me. I did the 2 laps, and I turned out, and I said, I got to have me one of these things. So anyway, jump ahead. A few months later, my brother calls me. It's like April or whenever that game came out. And he had PCs, of course, at his office at work. I didn't have one. He's like, yeah, I just got this NASCAR racing game that we played down in Daytona here, the full release, the original Papyrus NASCAR racing.
Yeah.
And within a week, I had a PC and a joystick, and I was off. So as that game evolved, I just grew with it. At first it was all AI. There was no online stuff, and we still did racing. There was a guy who had a program where he sent it to you in an executable, and it had all the race parameters, and you did it, and it started a timer, and you went out and ran your race, and then you logged the results and sent your results in, and all your results were compared to all the other people's results, and they scored it, and it's pretty wild. And then, of course, the internet hit, and we got racing online servers and went from there. So I've been doing it ever since.
So you made the switch. Oh, go ahead, Brandon.
No, I was just gonna say I remember playing. Like I'm way younger, but I remember my dad had the game, and like that was my first. Like besides being at the racetrack, that was my first introduction to like. I didn't watch it on TV, but like to sit behind a screen and like pretend like you're driving a race car, man. Whew! At like 6, 7 years old, that was the greatest thing ever.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, and I mean, even me
Besides
as
actually sitting in a race car.
yeah, even me as someone by that time I started racing go-karts in '83. So I mean, I'd been racing a long time, and to actually sit down, of course, then at a desk with initially using a joystick. I mean, I would run 500 lappers at Bristol with 36 cars with a joystick. I mean, crazy. But anyway, just it was something that not only was you loved playing the video games, but it also to almost every degree brought all the same emotions and feelings and sweating and get your heart rate up of actually doing it in real life. So it was as close to getting the real drug that you're ever going to get in racing.
Mm-hmm.
So you made the switch to iRacing when, Mike, were you one of the first ones to move out on the service? Like, was it 2009, 10 it came out?
No, actually. So when the Papyrus, which had been bought by another company called Sierra, and they so Papyrus Studios was a subdivision of Sierra, which was a global company instead of just the local. Papyrus was Dave Kamer, the same guy who's running iRacing now,
Yep.
and it was the end of it was coming. They knew the Sierra was scrapping it and the money was drying up and it was going to go away. But we were still, at that time there was a lot of leagues. I mean, it's hard to believe, but it's 20 years later almost. But at that time, there was still a lot of leagues, and I mean, I was running in leagues back then that had 30, 35 guys every week and 2 nights a week, and I mean, so it was active even back then. And there was a group of people, everybody probably knows the story. I'm not going to go into the whole depth of it, but there was stuff going on behind the scenes that Kamer, it was called First and all this. It was going to try to keep this going on, and they were going more towards online, obviously, because the internet was really booming. And so I knew a little bit about it, because there was a group of them that were putting out content for the old Papyrus game, mods and different things like that you could do. Well, a lot of those guys that were doing that and that were really in with Papyrus and had been racing a long time, when it was all going down, were alpha testing for what was going to end up becoming iRacing. It was called First at that time. And they had maybe, I don't know, I'm guessing 100 or so alpha testers. And it just so happened that one of the guys that I was racing in a league with at the time, so at that time they were getting ready to go beta, and this was in I don't know, maybe September or October of 2007. And he just got a hold of me and said, "Hey, I'm an alpha tester for this. We all knew it as First back then. I'm an alpha tester for First, and we've all been enabled to go out and pick 3 people to come in for what was going to be their first phase of their beta testing." And so I got in at that point, and then shortly thereafter they allowed, so however many there was, that we ended up with about 300 beta testers, somewhere right around there. And then shortly after that, they came to all of us again and said, all of you that are beta testing here now, we want you to invite 10 people. So, we grew it from about 300 to 3,000-ish for the last phase of beta testing, because mainly at that time we were just testing the credit card system and the download system and all that stuff. They had all they had where they were at where they wanted to be with the sim, but they needed to test it with a lot of people and giving us fake, like they gave us fake credit card account numbers to create accounts and go in and fake buy them and then we were testing all that stuff at that time. So that went on for I don't know, a few months, and then they opened up the gates in June of 2008. And at that time, all the content and cars and tracks and stuff we had, they let us keep them. So we got a pretty good head start. It wasn't a lot, but it was something that we got to start off with when they actually opened it up to the public. So that was pretty cool. I put you guys to sleep.
No, I had my mic muted for a second, and I started talking, but it's still muted. So Mike, I pulled up iRacing Insights. It's a cool little app I found this week. And I put your name in, and it pulls up your driver profile since for iRacing. Goes all the way back to 2008. So,
Yep.
719 career official starts, 65 wins, 348 top fives. So almost a 50% average of top fives in your career in official races, with an average incident of 2.3.
Yeah, and I haven't ran an official race probably since they started leagues here.
It's your last. It only goes back a year. Your last two was Tuesday, June 10th. It was an iRacing B class auto club. Um, you finished 12th, and then you did the Dale Juniors driven to give 400 Iowa Speedway in a mini stock.
Oh yeah, well that was fun.
Yeah. And you finished fifth in that. So.
Well, there isn't many more. I mean, I did some NASCAR iRacing series stuff. Mostly on the servers, I've just done dirt. And my iRating was up. The highest I ever got, I got close to 5,000. And then they brought dirt on, And initially, dirt was in with all the oval stuff. And that's what it brought my iRating down from almost 5,000 to wherever it is now before they split it up. So
yeah. Your peak was 4805.
40, yeah, and it was close to 5,000. Yeah. So, and I don't know if it mentions that I was also in what they call the Coke series now too, in the original for the first season.
No, it doesn't show that. But here's what strikes me looking at a 4.99 safety rate in Class A, a 4.99 in sports car, a 470 in Formula car. So that just shows the caliber of driver you are, which we all know from racing with you and watching you week in, week out.
I like driving everything. I own everything. I'm one of those 100% guys. So
I think I now have all the ovals. I can say that.
Yeah, well, you still get a 20% discount. I get a 30% discount. Originally, the people that owned everything got a 40% discount.
Yeah.
So since I started out, they didn't release a ton of discount or a ton of content at first. So since I went into it with everything, and they gave you a 40% discount, of course, because I do like to race everything. There is some stuff I have that I probably have not used yet, but not much. But anyway, of course, at 40%, I wanted to support iRacing too, because back then you had people that were like, this place isn't going to last for 3 years, So I supported them as much as I could and bought everything, and it's just kind of been, it's kind of like a challenge now to keep up and keep buying anything, and I still do it just to support them mainly, especially when you're getting 30% off. I mean, it's not like it's a ton of money. So.
Yeah. So, how are you feeling for tonight at Phoenix?
I'm feeling good about Phoenix. I like it a lot. I did some testing. The car feels really good. I think I had some good times. So, Phoenix is one of those tracks, though, where, it tends to get crazy and you'll have some different strategies going, and you really want to keep your track position, but it's almost inevitable that at some point in time, the race is going to get turned on its head, and then you got that battle to try to get through the field and try to not get killed when you're going through the field. So a good race can turn into a bad race really fast there, but I hope to be able to run up front. Hope we have a good turnout.
So, it's just you
literally
and me.
Just he literally just talked about my Phoenix race there last night in Sim 500. We went green. We went green, and right around halfway, I was like, "All right, I'll pit." I pit. As soon as I'm on pit road in my box, caution comes out. I'm all the way back. I get lapped, get the wave around. Got to work my way all the back way through the field. Drive into a wreck. Battle back. Finished 8th. So, yeah, that's Phoenix. He said it.
It's one of those tracks for sure. I mean, you get back there in the back, and the restarts are just insane. You never know what's going to happen.
Yeah. Well, luckily we have it to where you can't change lanes. And I don't know, Rob, is that... We'll get a rules clarification. Changing lanes, does that mean we can't dive below the line also? Like, you can't cut the dog leg until after start-finish?
Our rule is you have to stay in line until the start-finish line. So okay, I would say
no cutting.
We have to be consistent with that, right?
Yep. I just want to make sure. Now out there,
something will definitely go over. Something will definitely go over in the drivers' meeting.
Yeah, I saw it last night, and I don't know if there's that. I don't know if there's like that clear rule in Sim 500. I really don't personally. I'm not gonna be one to be like, oh, he cut. Don't really care that much, but.
Well, it is a common rule, especially at that track,
Yeah.
and it's really easy to do. And I'll tell you, that's funny that you brought it up like that. You want someone to key up the bike and say he cut. But
Yeah.
I was starting in a new league. I was a new guy in a league last year. It was like the second or third race, and I did. I mean, I even knew it was a rule, but it's so easy to do. You know, you're
Yep.
ready to go, and the green comes out, and you just go. And I cut it by like I don't even think my whole truck cut below it, and I didn't even get into turn one. And some guys, hey, that guy in that truck up there, he kind of cut down early, didn't he? Oh yeah, everyone's like, oh yeah, he cut down. I'm like, oh my god,
Bombard the new guy. Jesus Christ.
what kind of people am I racing with here? Jeez. But no, yeah, go ahead.
I had one of those moments last Sunday afternoon. I ran a recruitment race for another league in the next gen, and we were at Kentucky, and we have a restart, and I'm running 6. And before I get to the start finish line, a car passes me and has the lead way before turn 1. And I'm going to key up and say something, and someone in the back goes, "Hey, that guy came out of the pits and never slowed down. He passed it. He went from dead last to the lead before turn 1."
Yeah, it's. I'm looking forward to the Cup race there too as well. It's a fun car to drive. A lot of people don't really like it, but it's a fun car to drive in the Cup car too.
I'm trying to forget the Cup race there this season. It was not good for me.
Oh, it already happened. So it's the
Yeah,
schedule kind of gets mixed up. There.
So this is a makeup race because we had issues with our broadcast. Yeah, we had server issues
Server
and
issue and then the
broadcast issues. So
I gotcha. Well, it'll be better in Martinsville, I think. I mean, I like Martinsville. Don't get me wrong, but it's tough to get a good race there.
So this is the part where we pick the winners, Mike. We make our predictions for the week.
Luckily, you only have to pick one person.
Well, yeah, it's only one race tonight.
It's only
way
tonight,
easier.
And we always let the guest pick first. So.
And it's not too cocky to pick yourself.
No, it's not. We
don't feel that you can't pick yourself.
Well, I mean, I feel I got a good shot, but just for fun, I'm gonna let you guys. You know, I'm gonna pick Chad Coleman.
Chad's fast everywhere too.
Yeah, I'll have a shot, but man, Chad, he's really good at stuff like this with long runs, meaning a lot and stuff. I tend to burn it up more. So if we have a good clean race, like I think we might, I'll give Chad the nod. That means one of you guys can pick me. Hint, hint.
Me or you, Rob?
You're next, Brandon. I went in the middle last week.
All right. Like, no disrespect, but this guy's been hot in like every series that I've raced with him. We raced there last night. I'm gonna go with Rob's teammate. I'm gonna go with Steve. I think he finished 3rd last night, 4th in the truck race. We raced at Phoenix literally last night, so he's got some track time.
Yep.
And yeah, he's been really consistent these last couple months. I feel like every time I'm making a poster for the top 5, I'm putting Steve's name on it lately. Besides, like yours and Chad. So
I was gonna say that's a former teammate of Mike's.
Former Turn 1 Hero teammate. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good pick always.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Steve.
Hey, I listened to your guys' podcast. I no one picked me except Rob in the Cup car. So.
Well, I did pick Anthony last week, so
you picked the winner. I mean,
that's what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm actually supposed to be picking for 2nd place because I'm hoping that I win these races, but that's far few and in between right now.
Gotcha. I understand.
I'm gonna say
no, you're good. You're good.
I'm glad you picked Steve. That way, if he has a bad night, he can throw something at you.
That's fine. I'm not in this team. I'm not in the team chat.
In the mail. Every time I pick him, he ends up wrecked or laps down or something stupid happens to him. And I'm gonna take the low-hanging fruit. I'm gonna pick Mike. Easy pick.
All right. Yeah.
I'll send Steve back a case of Red Bull because he's gonna win and he's gonna want to celebrate and he's gonna need to stay up. Especially
I feel like I'm all
back to Ohio State football season. He's gonna need some Red Bulls the next day.
Well, you might want to send him a towel to cry into after the Patriots win Sunday night because he is a Bills fan. Uh,
I'm going to ignore the football talk because I have no interest in it. But I will say that I feel like I was already cursed tonight going in from being on this show, and now that Rob picked me, I'm really probably.
Yeah, everybody knows Rob's the curse.
no,
Well, I
I
can't.
picked a winner a couple weeks ago. Who did I pick? I picked
He
someone a
picked
couple
me
weeks ago
though.
that won.
He picked me at Darlington, and I did get second. I mean, Anthony. I won't say Anthony stole that race away. He
Oh,
didn't. He didn't steal it away, but he kind of stole it away.
he stole that. He stole it.
I mean, yeah, I
He
got a
knows
chance.
it.
I had a chance to pass him back. I mean, I could have, but I couldn't. So, I mean, he got to the front, and that was that.
Yeah, that clean air. And it's.
And he even had damage. I mean, jeez.
Okay, well it's 8:15. Oh, 8:13, close enough. I think that's Mike. We're gonna give you the mic. Let you thank anyone that you want to thank. Any sponsors? Any shout outs you want to give?
Oh, nah, not a big shout out guy. I mean, obviously, I want to thank you guys for having me on the show. Obviously, it's fun. I'll do it anytime you want. I can talk for a long time, and I'm old, and I've been around a lot of racing and sim racing, so I can tell you a lot of stories. But so definitely, thanks for having me on. It's been a blast.
Yes.
And shout out. Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. Keep going ahead.
Oh, I was going to say shout out to the sponsors of the league. Unfortunately, I don't know who they all are, but I know from helping out for Sim 500 for a long time and getting. By the way, I got over 1,000 starts there, and Simley has 1,100 starts. So we got 2,100 starts at Sim 500 between the two of us.
Wow.
2,100.
I know Steve said it had been around a while, but I didn't realize there was guys that had that many starts over there. That's incredible.
Coleman's got almost 1,500.
Jesus.
Guy's got no life. Anyway, shout out to Sim 500 for sponsoring me on my cars here that I'm running. Out when I go out into other leagues, I can run a Sim 500 car and be an antagonist. And of course, shout out to the wife for allowing me to race 4 or 5 times a week and do stuff like this. And my little dog Izzy. If I don't mention her, my wife won't let me race no more. So that's all I got, and I'm looking forward to seeing you guys at Phoenix.
Okay, Mike, thanks for coming on. Really appreciate it. We should be thanking you because having a guest on makes the show that much more interesting, and people get sick of listening to me and Brandon all the time. So
Yeah, I think
No
we're
worries.
gonna do the podcast over the summer too. So like, without as much racing, we could really dive into some of those stories because, like you said, your parents owned a racetrack. Like we didn't even hear the name of the racetrack. I want to dive into that more. So yeah, it was good to have you on.
yeah, we'll get you back on, and we'll get on the real
Yeah.
life racing.
Yeah, just even if it's just for a few minutes to chat or fill some time or whatever. If I'm sitting around, I'm happy to do it. It's called Sunset Speedway. There's a Sunset Speedway in Canada that I think still runs to this day, but we were in Omaha, Nebraska. It's called Sunset Speedway. So there's not a whole lot of it out there, but you'll be able to find some stuff.
Awesome.
Definitely look it up.
All right, guys. Thanks a lot. We'll
Okay.
see you
All right. Yeah.
Thanks, Mike. We'll see you in about 15 minutes.
Sounds good.
Have a good one.
You
That's
too.
Mike Kelley joined us tonight, driver of the 43 Sim 500 Pennzoil Ford Mustang in our 802 Busch Series. Well, Brandon, it's that time of night to wrap it up. You got anything you want to touch base on or shouts out?
No. Yeah, just tune in tonight. Brother Jet on the call, turn 3. Tomorrow, tune in on Signature Esports for the Interleague 500.
Yeah, that'll be an
We
awesome
got that
race.
2 o'clock. Trying to think, who do we got for our league drivers? We got myself, we got Nick Larson, we got Jeff Pogo,
Yeah.
Gemma, and the real deal, Kenny Real.
Yeah.
All will be representing our league. So
Yeah,
hopefully
and
one of us can bring it home.
Next time a lone wolf there because he's got no teammates. So maybe
so
you guys can reach out to him and bring him in and give him some love.
Yeah, I actually Nick reached out to me I think earlier this week. He wants to paint, so like I was gonna kind of I was gonna be like, yo, you're the only one there, so yeah, we'll kind of all work together. I'm sure. See how Maybe I can convince Jim and Pogo to want to work with Kenny. We'll see. I don't know if that one might. But I feel like Kenny has already a couple teammates. I think he was racing with somebody.
He lost one
dual
though.
race, and he
He lost
got
Trevor.
wrecked.
No, he lost Trevor. Trevor was Trevor that got his iRacing account banned, and then he made a second account, and that got banned today. I was told. So Kenny's wanting to reach out and ask if he could run his alternate account in the Interleague 500. So I'm assuming because Kenny was reaching out, that meant he was a teammate of Kenny. So
I know he has that. I don't even know if this guy qualified. Vicente. He's the one that wrecked Kenny in his dual race. They wrecked themselves in the dual race. Kenny told me so.
And don't
I think
forget,
he might have other people. So
the real deal, Kenny Rio, is sponsored by 802 iRacing Podcast.
Yep.
The podcast paid his entry fee for this race.
So hopefully Kenny can bring it home for us here. I hope any one of us, but it's gonna be an attrition race. Yeah, we'll see what happens. 200 laps is a long time at Daytona. I've never sat in the sim for 200 laps at a plate race where we could turn into fuel mileage and we're not really racing. We're mostly just riding around. So
yeah, one thing I would
we'll
say.
See how that goes.
One thing I would say is in the Interleague 500 starting lineup tab on the Discord server for it, there are 9 guys that are listed that as alternates by speed. One guy's already got in. Mike Kelley got in on. He was the first alternate. He's in because of the guy that got banned by iRacing. But as of earlier today, there was only what did Joey post? It's like 20 people that hadn't confirmed they were going to be making that were qualified that were making the race.
I think people just they haven't RSVP'd yet.
Yeah.
So if you could do that.
So there's
RSVP.
Yeah, there's 18 drivers that have not RSVP'd. So if you're on that alternate list, you guys should be in your sim sitting there waiting, because I would imagine if it gets close to showtime and those guys haven't logged in, Joey may go to the alternates, because he said he wants to have a full 44 car field. So if you're one of the guys that didn't qualify in the duels or LCQ, go look at the alternate list, see where you are, and be paying attention tomorrow, because it sounds like Joey's gonna put guys in if there's no shows. He last updated 11:20, and he only had 26 that RSVP'd. So, okay, Brendan, I will see you in about 10 minutes. That's gonna do it for us tonight.
We'll be there. I believe we're gonna take. Are we gonna take next week off? Or we?
I'm not sure. Let's. Yeah. You're not gonna get back. We'll do a post on the Discord if we're not gonna do it.
Yep. But. All right.
I feel like we'll have the Interleague 500 we could talk about. We'll have tonight's
there'll be things to talk about. Yeah.
Yeah. So. Right. Okay.